Welcome to the second video of the True North channel, and we're going to be talking about fundamental understandings that we need to understand before we get into the meat of the Great Awakening. So I'd love to cover these topics first, get them out the way, and then we can go deeper into the Great Awakening, deeper into what's coming, deeper into what's coming for you, because this isn't just about my paradigm. This isn't just about other people. You are actually involved in this. And if you're watching these videos with awareness, even without awareness, even if you're just completely an ego, this is still going to subconsciously hit you on a deeper level. So, identity. This is the first video really breaking down identity, and this is the most important video that I'll ever make on this channel, because without this understanding, everything else that I say, if you don't witness what I say in the future without this foundational understanding, it's basically vanity, because the ego that is in the driver's seat right now can't connect to the same level. It's so hard to explain, because I'm talking about something that can't really be explained with human words. Okay, so we are born into an identity we didn't choose. If I was to ask you, who are you? You might say things like your name, your nationality, your race, your religion. All of these things are actually assigned to you before you're born. Your name is given to you before you are born. Your nationality, the perceptions of the people around you, your parents, that they've given to you, and they have given that energy into you through your youth. And your parents before them. Your parents before you, and their parents, and their parents, and they have all been given the identity before they were born, and they never questioned it. They never went back on it, and we all went along with it. And that itself isn't the main cause for what's going on. It is a big part of it, in terms of the ego and how the egos came to be, and how the ego is so powerful in today's paradigm. But that's something we need to understand, is the person you think you are isn't actually you. It's a collection of ideas, subconscious beliefs, and other people's ideas and beliefs that have been projected onto you, and you have subconsciously taken them into your psyche and expressing them through your belief. Because we're social creatures, when we see someone, or when we see a group of people, or when we see society as a whole believe in a certain idea or subscribe to a certain system, we're naturally going to try to follow it and take part in that, especially if we've never been told it's not the truth. So, what does this do to us? When we're given an identity before we're born, what does this do? It creates a default ego shaped by the external forces. And the system that we're grown up in is also built on that same need for the ego. System teaches separation. We're taught that we're individuals against the world and not part of it. And this is the bee's knees. I don't even know if that's the right word. This is like the foundation of the foundation of identity. And that is the false belief that you have about yourself, that you're not a part of nature. You think you're separate from nature. Why do you think that? Because you've been taught that. If you're not living under a rock, you may have heard in the past news agencies, media, government basically saying that we're pieces of right, and we are carbon producing killers. We rape nature, we kill nature, we destroy nature. Just think about what that does to a human psyche, especially a psyche that is not separate from nature. See, we are born from nature. We are from this earth. We are completely embedded into this web of life. And we have a false belief within ourselves a false belief that has been taught to us that we are completely separate from nature. That is crooked, and it's filthy when you think about it. So with that identity, nature becomes other, and other people become competition by default. We live in a conflict-orientated society, and this has been happening for thousands of years. Let's just say 2,000 years from the Abrahamic religions. 2,000 years have gone past, and there is still war breaking out in the Levant. There is still war, and they're still fighting over the same things because they are trapped in a conflict-orientated belief system that never evolved with the times but stayed stagnant. And that is a massive part of the suffering that's happening around the world. And that's going to be a massive part of the Great Awakening, is people seeing through the lies and realizing there is no conflict. The conflict is within ourselves, not outside of ourselves. And the reason we have the conflict within ourselves is because we are identifying as not being a part of nature. We are identifying as being separate from it. Oh, we're born into it. You're born into it. No, you're not. You're born out of it. You're born from it. The belief that you're born into nature and you're going to live and you're going to die, and yeah, just make nature your bitch, right? Make life your bitch. What does that sound like? It sounds like the ego to me, and it sounds like a lot of people that I've known in my life that have carried that same energy. Of course, that's not their fault. It's been taught to them, but regardless, I'm sure you can probably empathize with what I'm talking about. So identity becomes a mask, and we start performing instead of being. If we really be honest with ourselves, and I know I'm going to be bloody honest with myself, even with this video, there's a bit of performance going on, but that's because I'm still trying to unlearn certain aspects of myself. Identity becomes a mask, and we start performing instead of being. When's the last time you were really in the present moment, really being, really feeling in with the moment, and really enjoying yourself? Like, you were really there. This is amazing. Now, you may have experienced those moments, but how frequent are those moments? Because we've been taught, and this is another illusion that I will break down in another video, because I'm going to go through the illusions. So this video is identity. The next video is going to be the illusion of good and evil. And then the next video after that is going to be the illusion of time. Okay. So performance. When's the last time you really were in the present moment, really happy? And then I got up, let me speed forward past what I was up to. What I said was, you may have experienced some of those times in your life, but I'm going to take a gamble that it's not as frequent as you'd like it to be. And the reason that is because your identity is mixed up. You're not identifying with nature. You're identifying with the illusion of ego and the illusion of time. And when we have an illusion of a linear time scale where there's past and future and present, and if we identify with that time scale, that will also increase suffering, because that is not how the world works. That's how this system works. That's how this system runs and operates. But that is not how nature, the very nature that you are, the very nature that you're born from, it's not the way it works. Maybe it is. Who knows? Doesn't feel like it though. So we forget what it feels like to exist without a label. When I think about myself, I think of like musician, or I think about plumber, James, male, all these labels that are just ideas. So, and then it's like, so what am I? And when you go really deep into it, which you have to do yourself, no one can show you that. And no amount of YouTube videos or self-help videos will show you that. You really have to go within, and you really have to face yourself. Who am I? And there is no such thing as the pressure that you have to find out on the first time you go within. That's ridiculous to think. And it may not be what you expect. Your ego might be kind of summarizing an answer like, I know who I am. I'm this from that, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I've been like, no. Maybe what you are cannot be put into words. Maybe what you are, literally, the words that I'm using coming out of my voice box that have been learnt, taught, and understood, maybe these words are not sufficient enough to comprehend the insanity of how beautiful you are as a person. And maybe you're hearing this and maybe you're cringing out. And maybe that cringe is coming from your ego. You've been told your whole life that you're not good enough. You've been told your whole life you're not supposed to really love yourself, because that's egotistical, right? Sure, it can be. Depends where you're coming from. If you're loving your ego, that's egotistical. If you're loving you and you're really looking at the awareness and really looking at you, that child, because we all have an inner child inside of us, that child that had love, that child that used to have hope and dreams before the world crushed it through false paradigms, false beliefs, and so forth. What I'm about to say right now is so profound, and I stumble every time I think about it, because I guess it just really hits something with me. But if you're watching this, please listen to this with your awareness. Please don't judge it. Please don't try to interpret it. Don't try to grab onto it. Just let go. Just hear this, let it hit your subconscious. So, suffering comes from clinging to the false self and the ego. And when life challenges our identity, we suffer, never knowing that our identity the whole time is life itself. This is a predisposed disaster and a self-perpetuating cycle of ego. To be more specific, collective ego. I will be making a video on the ego. It should be tied into this video because the false self and identity, they're two mingling concepts that kind of are symbiotic. So it's hard to talk about your true self and identity without talking about the ego, but I'd love to make a separate video just on ego. So let's just kind of analyze that for a second. We suffer because we cling to the false self. What's the false self? It's the idea about ourselves that's been taught to us, and the ideas about ourselves that we have taken on consciously or subconsciously through the years that you've grown up with a human brain, okay? And so I was up to, when life challenges our identity, we suffer. I want to highlight challenges for a second, because challenge is completely subjective. What one person might find challenging may not be challenging for another. And if you're operating from the ego, which is already a predisposed condition where you are separate from nature, now that's not reality, that's a concept, it's a perception. So I should have said perception, sorry. It's a predisposed perception that you're separate from nature, and you're going to have a lot more challenges, which is going to equal to a lot more suffering, because you're not identifying with the challenge. And that's a massive problem. Is a lot of people think that the negativity they're going through is separate to them. They think that the anxiety they're going through is separate to them. They think the emotional stress that they're going through is separate to them. And maybe some of it may be projected onto you by another person. But if you're feeling it from within, then these are actually kind of like a headlight, not a headlight, but an instrument light on your dash, on your car dash. It's telling you that something's not quite right. Something needs to be looked at. And the more you push that further under the rug or further into the closet, the more it's going to build up in there, and inevitably I don't think I said that right. And it's inevitable that that closet's going to burst at some point. So when life challenges our identity, we suffer, never knowing our identity is life itself. If you identify as whole, if you identify as a nature creature that was homegrown on planet Earth, then of course you're going to naturally suffer. And this whole system is built on the concept of suffering. That's the energy that this system feeds off of. It is self-perpetuating, it is induced, and it is almost rewarded. The more you suffer, the more you have a victim mentality, the more that you're going to feel like life owes you. And when you think that life owes you, you're not operating from a place of a symbiotic relationship with life. You're saying that you're separate to it and it owes you, which is fundamentally flawed if you are a nature creature that's born in nature. Sorry guys, I'm a bit stressed out. I'm not gonna lie, I've done this video like 4 times and I keep stopping because my ego is also trying to be a perfectionist. It's I've been a perfectionist my whole life, and I'm still trying to unlearn how to learn how to be better, how to get better, how to unlearn the things I've learned. And me pushing through these mumbo jumbos, me pushing through these insecurities, that's what I'm feeling right now, is insecurity about what I'm doing right now. Even talking about this, I feel insecure. Bringing awareness to this, I feel insecure. So at the moment right now, I've just spiraled into a mental hurricane. And this is real time. And the reason I'm still going and not stopping the camera like I did all those other times is because I need to prove to myself that I don't have to be a perfectionist to be perfect. I don't have to get it right. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. Just me being here with presence and awareness is fully enough in this moment. And learning that is one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my life. And I hope you can forgive me for dragging out this video. That's if anyone's even watching this. I'm not perfect. I have an ego that I'm trying to maintain. I'm not Jesus Christ coming down in the clouds saying it's all going to be all right. I'm completely flawed, completely perfect, completely broken, completely perfect, healed. I'm just like you. If I'm going to be in this place of awareness and I'm not going to be led to making the rest of this video be about the information I've written down, then I may as well bring some awareness into the video, and I can talk about some of those things another time. What I want to say is that you watching this right now, you are not broken. You are not separate from nature. You are not separate from yourself. You are loved. You are a part of this massive web. You are a fundamental cog in this thing called life, because you are life itself, experiencing itself through a human body. Everything is okay. I promise everything is okay. It is going to be okay. And you were born in a time, the most magical time to be alive, where the awakening is going to become so obvious, so undeniable, so unshakable, that let's just say my human words can't put it into comprehension. I'm learning with you guys. I'm not perfect. I'm not a guru. I'm not a teacher. I'm a person who's lived his whole life asking why. And I was never settled with the answers that society gave me, because I always felt something was deeper. There was something missing. There was something missing. And I feel like everyone else can feel that too, whether they acknowledge it or not. But in my imperfection, in my suffering, in my pausing, in me stuffing up this video, that my ego had this great idea of this video. It had an idea, it had the plan, it had how the video was going to go. I'm going to accept the present moment. And I'm going to use this as an opportunity to show that awareness truly is more important than the information that the awareness carries. And that the awareness is the truth, and that you, me, and the awareness that's aware of this video, and the awareness that is aware of me being aware of you, being aware of you, being aware of me, being aware. The awareness is one. We are one. It's the truth. It's coming. And the ego is losing its grip. The ego is going to freak out. And I'm talking about the collective ego, as well as the individual ego. And that is beautiful, and that's a natural part of it. There's nothing wrong, there's nothing bad. This is all happening the way it's supposed to happen. And you can either suffer, you can suffer with the times, you can stay connected to the lies, to the illusions of this world, and suffer when it crumbles, because it is crumbling. Not only is it crumbling authentically, but it's crumbling on purpose, for a few other reasons that I'll get into in other videos. But you can either suffer, or you can start the journey with me if you haven't already. And this might be your calling. I didn't plan any of this out. I just there was something burning within me. I've always been insecure. I've never had the confidence to really put myself out there. And there's something burning within me that's telling me I have to get this out. I have to help. I have to bring awareness, and I have to help the tides change. And I think that I'm, just like I said, that you're a cog in the great thing we call life. I think I'm a cog too. And I think that even though I'm not the most prettiest cog, I'm still a cog, so I'm still trying to work, and I'm still trying to do the best I can. Take care of yourselves. You watching this video, take care of yourself. Love yourself. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. It's okay to not be happy. It's okay to feel like you don't have anything figured out. It's okay to feel alone, depressed. It's okay. This is okay. Because this is growth, and growth requires suffering, and you have a choice. Suffering is a tool. You can use the tool to strengthen yourself, just like a smith will strengthen his sword in the flames. Or you can allow it to overwhelm you, and you can allow yourself, your own ego, to attach itself to the identity of the suffering, the identity of the flame, and then you become the suffering. You can live like that because nature is merciless. It will let you do whatever you want. You've been given free will. You can go down that path of suffering. You can become that drug addict if you want to. You can go down into the depths. But you can also rise. You can also grow. You can also help. You can also love and see deeper, be deeper. And that's what True North is all about. It's about the Great Awakening. And I think it's also maybe a little internal journal of mine as I go through my Great Awakening. I'm just going to keep pushing through, even through the insecurity, even through all the mess. I'm still going to keep going. And that's what awareness is. And that is authenticity. And that is what we need. We need authenticity. That's why I'm going to keep doing this. I love you all. I'm going to relax now because I've been stressing. So take care of yourselves. I'm also going to start doing a little thing where I haven't done it now. I just had the idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to list a few things, like little dot notes. And I don't want you guys to see it as homework. I want you guys to see it as optional growth topics. So I'm thinking maybe I'll get dot points of things that I'll get you to research, or it's obviously optional, but it's going to help. It's just my way of giving you some guidance that you can do your own research into certain topics. But yeah, I could do a list at the end of every video with certain topics to look into. And yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. All right. Okay, take care of yourselves, guys. And this is True North signing off.